If you're a man and you want an awesome dating life, you must outsmart the modern world. It is a trap that hacks into your primal psychology. It'll destroy you if you aren't paying attention. Think about what's getting dangled in front of you every day, from the food, to the drugs, to the screens, to the disgusting women having sex on camera online. Mega corporations spend billions of dollars to engineer the most potent, addictive products as possible that take away all of your attention, all of your motivation, and leave you as a guy with zero confidence, zero social skills, and no women. Now, the products are just the tip of the iceberg. Today, I want to show you the two major pitfalls in the modern world that cause men to fail miserably with women. I'm going to show you how to navigate this minefield and escape it so that you can become the most attractive version of yourself and have an awesome dating life. And the first pitfall that you must outsmart in this modern world is all of the super stimuli. Okay, just do an experiment and go into public today. Just go to a store, okay? Just go anywhere, okay, if you live in America. What you're going to see is the most disgustingly fat people everywhere you go, like without fail. And one of these people 200 years ago or 100 years ago even, you could put them in a carnival and charge money for people just to look at them. This would have been the world's fattest man, okay? People would have driven their horses for 15 miles and further just to come and see this person and point at him and marvel at how fat this person is. Now, everywhere you go, you're going to see 15 of these people today, and they don't even care. There's no shame for this. This is very normal, okay? I mean, it's very normal to ride around in a scooter at Walmart with your entire family like you're on the ship in Wall-E, okay? This is hilarious, but it's so true. All right, why is this the case? Well, I mean, we probably need to bring back a bit of, decency, maybe a bit of shame for just going down this route in life. Okay, obviously, the super stimuli that these mega corporations have created for us, right? Anything that there is a fulfilling version of, there's going to be a cheap version of today. Obviously, you have adult content, and it's so bad, it's so degenerate. Like, I went on YouTube the other day, and now they have these things called, I don't know if you've heard of a marketing agency. Okay, they help people with their marketing. They help businesses with their marketing. Now we have these OnlyFans marketing agencies actually doing advertising on YouTube, actually advertising the business model of OnlyFans marketing. And they're like, hey, I'm going to show you how to chat on OnlyFans to make money. And when I say this, this is what I mean. Okay, we have people who have specialized in acting like women online and basically extracting money from lonely men who are masturbating to pornography online. And we have men who are helping other men get into this business model and figure out the science behind this. Think about how demonic and sick this is, but these people are all over YouTube. They're all showing their faces, okay? And so this is the forces that we have to fight against as men, okay? It's endless. Think about video games. So what's the real version of video games? Actually getting status, actually building a real skill set, actually helping people in your community, which is how people used to get status, okay, in primal times, which is you go out and you kill a giant animal and you bring it back. That's how you get status, by helping people, right? But now you can just load up your favorite video game. Think about the weed, which is probably engineered in a lab now. All of these things have caused men, you just get an instant dopamine hit from these things. And this is what men are doing. They're living like the Wall-E shit person now, okay? Look around, we are living in idiocracy. It is ridiculous. Now, what is the solution to this? How do you actually escape this? And I think step number one has to be awareness of what you're doing in your life. Okay, most people are unconscious. Okay, most people are not aware of what they're actually doing in their life. Because what happens is you get into this groove in life and you just sort of get into autopilot unless something happens. Unless you get snapped out of it, like maybe you get into a car accident because you were drunk driving, a lot of times you're just going to continue going down the slow, decaying path that leads to death unless something major happens, okay? So the first step is awareness, actually waking up and snapping out of it, okay? Okay, so I just started going to this gym that has a sauna, all right? And I love going to the sauna every day. It's amazing. And sometimes I'll go into the steam sauna, and every single time I go in there, there'll be a guy wearing headphones in the steam sauna, okay? The steam sauna, which has a ton of humidity, right? Which does not actually correspond with electronics. They don't live together. I forget the word for that. Now we have people with their expensive headphones on. In some cases, I've even seen people, bringing their phones into the sauna with them so that they can put themselves on autopilot, okay? So they don't have to think and be alone in a room for 5 minutes without some sort of stimulation, without some sort of music, okay? These guys are in the sauna, steam sauna with their headphones on. It's so sad. So you need to get out of this state of autopilot and wake up. Snap out of it, okay? This is your life. That's step number one. Step number two is understanding that there are evil, sociopathic people who are behind these technologies, who are behind these foods. Okay, think about the people who are inventing, kids cereal like Frosted Flakes, whatever, Captain Crunch. These people are engineering every single detail of this product, down to the colors on the boxes, okay, down to the mascots, everything. And they're optimizing for one thing. It's obviously money, right? They just want to make as much money as possible. They don't care about an obesity problem. That's the last of their worries. Okay, social media companies don't care that people are anxious. They don't care that people are wasting their life. No, I mean, that's the least of their worries. So there is somebody sitting in a lab right now, and they're trying to code another way to keep you on the YouTube Shorts, maybe, or on TikTok for 30 seconds longer right now. All right, they're trying to engineer a way to keep you smoking weed. They're trying to engineer a way to keep you on the pills. And these people, they're not like you and I. They don't actually experience care for other people. They don't care if somebody gets hurt. They don't care if somebody gets into a car accident. They just care about themselves. There are people like this who exist in the world. They're called sociopaths. They might be called psychopaths. And these people find themselves in these positions, all right, and they create these things. So you need to understand that there are sociopaths and there are probably evil forces in the world that do not care about you at all. And you need to stop consuming their products. And then it's just like God, okay, just believing in God, asking for God for protection, and stop absorbing your mind with all of this stimuli, okay? Like think about rap music, which is some of the most degenerate, satanic music possible. All right, they give you this cool beat, this amazing beat that makes you feel great, and then they combine it with all of this demonic language, okay? And it's just wrapped up in something that's so palatable, something that makes you feel so good. All right, so be on the lookout for this. And really quickly, if you're a guy that wants to start going on dates every week with quality women that you don't meet on dating apps, and you want to have this ability without fear or without being needy, and you'd like my personal help to develop this confidence and the skill set, click the link below this video and apply to work with me directly. Let's get back to the video. Now, the second pitfall to avoid at all costs in the modern world, if you want to have an amazing dating life, is short-term thinking. And understand that humans have evolved to be more of short-term thinkers, but we're living in more of a long-term strategy society now. All right, think about how a primitive human on the plains of Africa lived on a daily basis. Okay, they just had to worry about how am I going to eat? How am I going to kill this antelope? Okay? How am I going to defend myself from this neighboring tribe who's trying to attack me with spears and clubs? Okay, understand this. They did not have farming. It's just what's in front of me. How do I survive? All right, but now we live in this society where in order to actually in order to become a more attractive person, okay, and to gain status, we have much more of these long-term strategies that we have to do, such as, like I said, maybe gaining a PhD might get you status. But the problem is we still have the same psychology, all right? We still have, how do I feel good in this moment? And so that goes back to pitfall number one, is we have this short-term sort of strategy kind of mind, and then we have all these super stimuli, which can satisfy these sort of emotional needs. It can satisfy the sexual need. It can satisfy the dietary need. It can satisfy the status need with video games. Okay? And so this is why you have to be aware of this, and you have to actually outsmart this system. All right? And you have to understand, most people are not thinking ahead when it comes to their relationships. Some people, they think ahead when it comes to money, when it comes to career, or maybe they'll even think ahead when it comes to working out in the gym. But people are not thinking ahead when it comes to their relationships, okay, when it comes to their social skills. What most people are thinking when they see an attractive girl, okay, a cute girl out in public, is they're thinking, well, I don't really have to approach this girl because actually I have dating apps. Okay, I'll just go home and use dating apps, and that's sort of an escape for them. Or, you know what, I don't really want to approach this girl because I don't want to feel bad. I don't want negative emotions in this moment because I might get rejected. Okay, and what they're not thinking of is, where does this lead me? If I keep making the decision to stay inside of my comfort zone and to not grow as a person, where does that lead me to 2 years from now? Where does that lead me to 3 years from now? Okay, people are making this short-term decision once the weekend rolls around. Oh, I'm kind of tired. I don't want to go out and meet girls, all right? People are making this short-term decision every time they vie for the adult media option. Okay, let me, go on this inappropriate website rather than actually, let me save this resource that I have that God gives me as motivation to actually do something with myself in the world. So you have to adopt a long-term strategy in your relationships in the same way that you already might with your career and with money, although most people aren't doing that either, because only 20% of people actually retire with enough money to retire. All right, but when it comes to relationships, you have to think ahead. And this is something that I learned early on in my life, thankfully, because I made a lot of mistakes in the past, growing up, living in this, basically being a guinea pig, being in Gen Z, where you're a guinea pig for all of this modern technology, all of this crazy potent weed, okay, all of this food. We're basically just guinea pigs now. And I'm in a generation where, okay, they still don't know to this day, what are the effects of just throwing an iPad in a kid's hand and letting him just go on this device for hours with no socializing? What are the effects on the rest of his life? We have no clue what the answers to this are. Okay, similar to how when cigarettes came out and they were advertising them as something that was healthy for your teeth, right? We didn't learn about that till a lot later. I think technology right now is sort of like the cigarettes, how they used to be. All right, so I was sort of just this guinea pig, and guess what? I got messed up by this stuff, all right? And I had to learn this stuff the hard way, that, hey, there are all these sort of demonic modern traps that are trying to basically harvest my soul. And I learned, hey, I actually do need to invest in my relationships. And so what I started to do was I started to go out and intentionally work on my social skills. Nobody does this. Very, very few people in the world do this. And it's very funny, okay? I was watching a large YouTube channel the other day who claims to be a dating channel. Really, he's just sort of like a marketer, but he has this dating channel or whatever. And what he was doing was he was critiquing pickup artists, and he was saying that pickup artists are people who have short-term pleasure-seeking tendencies, that pickup artists are people who aren't very disciplined, that pickup artists are basically just trying to optimize the exterior without actually building themselves up as a man and becoming more attractive, like at a core level. And this is very funny because this is how most people think about people who work on their social skills intentionally. Okay, they think about them as degenerate pickup artists. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, this is almost laughable. This is almost super laughable, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Number one, I mean, the idea of a pickup artist, nobody's used that term since like 2007. Like, nobody's going out and memorizing giant scripts like they were in 2007. So pickup artist is just funny. I just like to call it a social guy, you know, a guy who cares about his relationships and cares about his life. So basically what I'm saying is this: a guy who actually goes out and consistently goes out, faces his fears, talks to women, gets outside of his comfort zone, works on a skill with intentionality, studies his stuff, gets mentorship, okay? This is the most disciplined person of all. This is the most disciplined person of all. And then we have the guy sitting in his basement making these YouTube videos all day. Notice how this guy will make a YouTube video every single day. How do you have time to actually work on your skill set with women and get life experiences if you're only sitting in your house making videos every day? I don't know. That's just a question. That's just a question I have. But notice how this guy is going to say, you're not disciplined for going out, but really these are the non-disciplined people. Okay, so little side tangent there. Intentionally work on your social skills, okay? Because either you do this now, all right, and obviously this is a decision you're gonna have to make. Like, I'm not gonna be able to force you to do this yourself if you don't want to do this, right? But I'm just going to tell you how this plays out, all right? You know, I'm going to continue working on my social skills, all right? My clients are, a large number of men are going to do this. And what's going to happen is we're going to continue to go out. We are going to continue to become better conversationalists, become, you know, whatever, better at flirting, develop stronger frames, and just learn all of the nuance of this stuff over years. Okay, I've already been doing this for 4 years. We are going to continue to do this for years and years and decades, okay? Now, what maybe you're going to do, or what maybe other people are going to do, is they are not going to work on their social skills. What they are going to do is they are going to maybe start coping and thinking about, what are these other ways that I can sort of cope for the fact that I can't talk to women? And maybe, I don't know, maybe they buy some fake designer, maybe they just focus on their career, they just think they can buy love, they can just buy sort of women, which technically, I mean, you can buy prostitution, it's just not really the same. And they're going to maybe hit the gym a ton. Okay, let me get as big as I can in the gym. And then what's going to happen, and I've seen this play out, it's played out in my own life actually, they're going to finally achieve this thing where they have the money, okay, they have the physique or whatever. They're gonna go out and then they're finally going to try to get a girlfriend. And what's going to happen is they can't talk to women. They can't hold a 1 to 2 minute conversation with a girl. Okay, they have no idea what they're doing, but they're going to feel entitled to attraction because they sort of fell for the bait, they fell for the trap that they saw in the Disney movie where it was like, oh, just get the money, just get the physique. They're going to become angry at this fact, and then they're going to type negative comments about women underneath YouTube videos rather than just actually focusing on the 80-20, which would have gotten them immediate results. Now it's funny because social skills is not only a long-term play, but it's also a short-term play. Like, you can go out today and get a girlfriend, okay? But also if you work on this for months and you work on this for years, you're going to find out that you can attract higher quality women. All right, so with this, you can get results in the short term like pretty quickly. Like I just had a client come through the program the other week. He didn't even understand the first thing about how to talk to a girl, okay? He joined the program and he still sort of had doubts that you could just go meet women in person and you didn't have to rely on dating apps. Like he joined in on the first day, he's like, Joseph, wait, can I actually do this? And I looked at him really confused over the call. I was like, why did you join this program if you didn't believe this? He's like, I don't know, I just wanted to try it out. But either way, he sort of had doubts about this. He had no clue what he was doing. Within 2 weeks, he had his first date from actually doing this, from just meeting a girl that he met actually in a coffee shop and then asking her out on a date. So you can get results in the short term with doing this. Like I said, over time, it's going to level you up into a place where you're existing in a different playing field than other men. And I don't just say this metaphorically, I mean like literally. A guy who doesn't work on his social skills and goes into a nighttime environment, what is he doing? He's just like, he's like a peasant, basically, like a metaphorical peasant. And the way that all he can do is just sort of drink and stand in the corner, okay? And all he can do is sort of try to ride off of your success, maybe try to befriend you because he sees that you have all of the attention. Maybe he sees that you're talking to a girl, okay, that he's sort of in the friend zone with, and then maybe he tries to sabotage it with you. This is what's gonna happen with these guys who haven't learned this. It's unfortunate because, you know, they don't teach this in school, that this is so important. And so that's what's going to happen. You're going to exist in a different league to, it's just like, it would be like if you were Mike Tyson, okay, and you just got put in the ring with like an infant. Okay, it's just like not fair. It's just like messed up. And if you'd like to expedite this process between your current situation and having an amazing dating life and rockstar levels of confidence, and you'd like my personal help so that I can just walk you step by step through the system, then you can click the link below this video, go to my website and apply to join the program. That's all I have for the video today, guys, and I'll see you soon.